Welcome to the Underground Nation podcast, where we dig deep beneath the streets with your host, with the ghost, Bounce Ball Boogie. Tonight's guest walks the fine line between light and darkness. Born in Vancouver, creator of Villain Gang Apparel and the Tales of a Dead Man trilogy. Influenced by Uicideboy, Lil Peep, WRLD, and Mac Miller, he's climbing toward godhood through sound. Prepare your mind, this is The MUZZ. Live third eye wide, not third eye blind.
What's good, family? It's your host with the ghost of Bounce Ball Boogie. And tonight, we're cracking open up the gates between heaven and hell, light and shadow, to welcome an artist who not just living his truth, he's resurrecting it. Straight out of Vancouver, Canada, born in '93 and now residing in Phoenix, Arizona, with the fire of transformation in his soul. This man has been climbing the alt hip-hop ladder with the heart of a saint and the soul of a villain. He's the founder of Villain Gang Apparel, the creator of the Tales of a Dead Man trilogy, and a walking embodiment of duality, inspired by Uicideboy, Lil Peep, WRLD, and Mac Miller. From Gemini, hitting over 70,000 plus to the resurrection with Volume 2, and now gearing up to close the saga with Volume 3, dropping October 25th this year. This is The MUZZ, baby!
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's The MUZZ, Villain Gang. We're in the house. How's it going, man?
Oh, we're doing a lot better now that you're here. Shoot.
Thank you. I feel that.
Absolutely. So, I was told that for listeners out there, before listening to this podcast, there's supposed to be some kind of warning I'm supposed to say, like get your candles, cleanse your third eye, and live third eye wide, not third eye blind. Is that?
Yeah, you got to live your third eye wide, not third eye blind, because I'm telling you, there's a lot of things going on in the world, and a lot of it we end up missing because we're focused on the more materialistic part of the world compared to the spiritual endeavors of the world.
Man, we're about to get deep. That's what you just gonna warn. Back out now. Well, Muzz, let's start from the core. When you say you're split between light and darkness, what does that mean for you as an artist and as a man?
So let's start with personally. Personally, I was born May 31st of 93. I am a Gemini, so duality has always been on my side. That's why my first album was named Gemini, and it represented the stamp of being able to balance between the light and the dark and be able to walk in the gray, because between the gray, there's no thin line. It's just everything in between it, everything that makes sense, everything that is positive, negative, hatred, and even enlightened.
Absolutely. But I mean, where does that... So I'm surrounded by Geminis. My sister's a Gemini,
Really?
My son's a Gemini, my wife's a Gemini. Yeah, I'm surrounded by Geminis everywhere.
See, I've never personally met a female Gemini. For me, I've always been that type of person that when I speak on how Geminis walk the path of light and dark, we're knowledge seekers and thrill seekers as well. We want to know everything. We want to feel everything. We want to taste the world for good and bad. But we also have to walk that, like I said, that gray line that tells us, okay, this is definitely wrong and this is definitely right. And be able to separate the bullshit in between.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me, how did growing up in Vancouver shape the sound and energy that we hear in your music today?
Well, in Vancouver, I spent at least 7 to 8 years there before I moved to the States, and we actually moved to Phoenix. It was a very rough area.
You mean 7 years old as a kid?
Yeah.
7 years old?
Yeah.
Oh, so you spent your childhood in Canada.
Yeah, and it was very rough because where I was at in Vancouver, it was kind of near the border, so there was a lot of cartel activity, a lot of people, going up missing and dying, and it got to the point where it was so close to us, and, we saw stuff on a daily basis after a while, that it got to be where it was like, okay, we need to move somewhere safer, somewhere out of here. And my parents decided to come to some part of Arizona for a while. And I've been here for a while, moved to Florida for 3-4 years of my adulthood, and just kind of moved around.
It's very cool. You mentioned the mission of ascension?
Ascension.
Ascension to become like a god? Is that spiritual, symbolic, or a statement of creative dominance?
It's all three, and let me tell you why. Because like I have this deep, profound belief that if everything is manifested, everything is attainable. Everybody has the likelihood or the possibility to be godlike or a god themselves if they actually put through the knowledge. They focus on what they need to do with their life and live their life the way that they want to, the way that they design it. Everything's a choice. Everything in life is a choice. Whether we choose to do drugs, we choose to go to college, we, decide to gangbang or whatever. But for good or bad, how are these choices impacting your life? What are you learning from it? What are you going to take from it? And how is that going to better your life? So if you're not ascending through life, then you're not going to ever reach that godly state.
Oh, man. So is this all like some self-development that you've been personally working on?
Honestly, yeah. See, me and my buddy Bleed the Wicked Menace, he's a very big popular artist. We grew up and spent a lot of time together when we were younger before I did music and everything. And we trip on psychedelics a lot, of course. But that's besides the point. But we got to this point where we started researching a lot of these things about manifestation and what is it? God, I can't even remember the word for it. Just being able to manifest what you want in your life to the point where, I'm not going to lie. A few years back, I felt like I was a little stuck. And I hit him up and I was like, man, I don't know why, but I feel stuck. And he's like, have you been focusing on your vision board? And I was like, you know what? I haven't posted anything new to it. I have a vision board in my room. Every time I walk in, I see what I want and what I want to attain. I tell myself,
what's on that vision board?
I can look up at it right now. So right now I have a picture of Atlantic Records because I'd like to get signed to Atlantic. That I'm going to get a house. I'm actually working on that right now. I have a dollar bill with $1 million written on it because one day I'm gonna have $1 million, and just a few other things on there. And that's me affirming that this is already mine.
That's right. It's already yours. The world is yours.
And if you stick in a negative mind state, like, oh, I'm in debt, I'm always going to be in debt, I'm always going to have bills, you're always going to be stuck in that mind state. But if you're sitting there going, I'm going to go to college and actually acting on it, or I'm going to start up a company and it's a no-brainer, I'm going to be a freight broker or something like that. Instead of just sitting there thinking about it, you put the action into doing it, you're going to be successful. It's all about your state of mind. Everything is about your state of mind.
That's right. You're unlocking the secret right now, my man.
Absolutely.
So why Atlantic Records? Why'd you say Atlantic specifically?
If you're vivid with what you're hearing from the Muzz, you're only scratching the surface. Dive deeper into the underground and discover the next wave of rising stars, raw sounds, and real stories shaping the scene. From hip-hop to horrorcore, from pop to the paranormal, underground-nation.com is where the movement lives. Tap in, turn up, and join the rebellion. That's underground-nation.com, where legends are born beneath the streets.
Throughout my career, I've looked through a few, like Universal, Warner, Capitol. I actually was able to, when the Gemini album came out, I was able to sit down and talk to Atlantic. And my numbers weren't that great at that point in time, but I had management at that time. I was going through Entourage in California. They hooked me up with the interview. They're like, listen, once you get your numbers up and everything is good and golden, we would love to sign you. But and this is another thing on game that I'm going to teach a lot of you artists out there and whatnot. Very important. I didn't think it was that important. When it came out, I started late on Instagram. I stuck to my Facebook. I was like, I'm not worried about, other, because, fuck that shit. I only need one, right? Started dead late, and it took a while to build up my numbers. I'm still building numbers. You can always do better than what you did yesterday.
I'm building every day.
Everything professional, they always look at your Instagram, how your Instagram's set up, how many followers you got, the ratios of followers to people you're following.
I was looking at my Instagram, but why Instagram?
Because it's more business professional, that is what they say.
Really?
Yeah, surprisingly.
I never heard that.
Yeah, and I've got more Facebook followers than I do Instagram followers, and it's strange.
But yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I don't know. I've been having a lot of fun with the new trial reels on Instagram. Have you been playing with that at all?
I have been dabbling with it a little bit.
It's been pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very interesting the reach that you can get, and with the world we're living in too. AI's grown to be so crazy and so strong. You can go on to ChatGPT and be like, "Hey, I need you to make me a post for today that will help with every hashtag that's going viral today for what I want to post today." And it'll write it up for you. You put it on there, and that helps you build numbers with the right algorithm as well.
How do you? Oh, okay. Well, I guess you're talking from experience. I was like, wait,
Well,
I've
tried
you
it
know
a few
it's
times.
even being real?
Yeah, I've tried it a few times, but I'm still scared with AI. Like, AI kind of makes me nervous because it's just growing way too quick. But the craziest part about AI is any child born after last year will not know a world without it now.
That is also true and also kind of awkward to think about.
Very awkward. It'll be used for everything.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Then what happens when the grids go down? It doesn't work no more.
Skynet. I'm a firm believer between we're in the position of aliens coming, Skynet. Skynet is pretty up there, and then now on the bottom of the list, zombies. But zombies is on the bottom.
I'm a zombie.
Exactly.
You know, I was also thinking about the versions that we see and get to play around with AI is something new to us and the public. But how long have they had this technology behind closed doors? And how advanced is it really in front of them compared to what we see and get to play around with?
It's so advanced that it's talking to other dimensions. And I don't know if you believe in multidimensional.
Don't you go talking about CERN? Have to talk about CERN?
Yeah. How it
Let's
started
turn it on.
talking to different dimensions and stuff
We're
like
gonna
that.
open the portals, ride
That's
the waves.
crazy. Yeah, and like if you think about it, there's like a theory where like back in 2014, our universe actually collapsed on itself, and we're living in a different universe and different timeline. That's why like the Mandela effect. Like I don't know if you guys have noticed it. Like the simplest one is Shazam. Everybody sees dude as it, and it's actually Shaq. I remember it as dude, but the biggest
There's two moves.
the biggest one to me is Fruit of the Looms. Fruit of the Looms. It used to the logo used to have a basket and the fruit coming out of it and shit. If you look, it doesn't exist.
But it does, because I remember the basket.
That's what I'm saying. And I did like after this, go do research. You'll never find one with a basket. I promise.
I've went down this rabbit hole before, my man. I've went down this rabbit hole, but now the universe collapsed. I didn't know about this.
Yeah, it's a whole theory about this guy that was something and he collapsed the universe.
Man, and none of us felt it?
None of us felt it.
We just switched timelines.
Basically, and that's crazy too, that we didn't even notice it.
Oh, man. And I wonder, like, those who are sensitive to like the universe or something did feel it. And what did they feel? I guess those are questions we may not know.
The unknown.
Yeah, the Matrix. We must escape the Matrix and build the new Earth.
Absolutely.
It starts with and people speaking the truth and the brain. See his brain, what he's talking about with self-development. These are all the things that help build the new Earth.
Yeah, and even if when it comes to my music, I do some of the light shit and some of the dark shit, but everything, if you listen to it very well, I'm a strong believer in music having subliminal messages behind it. Everything has a subliminal message behind everything I'm talking about, other than a few songs that, we all do that are just fun, getaway songs from, breakaway. Kind of like off this new album, I have a song called Hyuckin'. Hyuckin', like fucking, but hyuckin'. And it's basically Goofy's point of view about, how he does his business and, telling people, we hyuck in the streets, we hyuck in the skies, we do it all everywhere.
Yucky.
Yeah.
Yucky. Would you say that's a good word on your music?
It's definitely out there. I try to touch every single aspect of the music I can, unless I discover it's something that I cannot physically do. And that's okay. I tell people, be diverse, but don't completely step out of a range that you can't do.
That's right. That's right. I mean, well, you always want to challenge yourself too.
Oh, absolutely. But it can't be like how Beyonce's doing country music.
Beyonce can do whatever Beyonce wants to do.
I don't know. I listen to
her
them.
the fuck
It's
she
like
wants.
it's all right. It's
Money.
going off. It's like Lil Wayne or Lil White going off and doing country music. It can't see it happen.
But they can.
They could.
And they could probably have lots of people buying it too.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, without a doubt.
Jeez. Well, let's talk about this trilogy. What inspired you to call it Tales of a Dead Man?
Well, throughout my life, I've been in a lot of messy situations, and the villain gang name
Got yucky?
It got yucky. But so the villain gang name way back to especially when I was running around with juggalos and whatnot.
I'm still running around with.
Oh, I still am too, but it was more like we were doing shit that we weren't supposed to. So like we took villain. So I moved to Sierra Vista about 10, 12 years ago for 5 years straight. You know, we ended up taking over the town, and yeah, absolutely. It was a huge achievement. And throughout so many trials and tribulations where like I was near death or I touched death, to the point where like I've probably died 6 times by now. And
6 times?
All right, fam. It's time for a vibe check. You're now walked in with the Muzz, and this one's called Psychosis. Turn the lights low, let the bass take over, and step inside the mind of a villain chasing ascension through sound.
Would never occur. That can't be.
Yeah, and every single time, like I'll give you an example of one of them. I was walking home from a job, and
freaking job.
I don't. Somebody was borrowing my vehicle or some shit. I was walking home, and the only way home was on the highway. So I was walking down the highway on the side, and I had a feeling the turn around. And as soon as I turned around, got smacked by a Toyota Tundra going 55 miles an hour. Apparently, what happened was I flew in the middle of the street, walked to the side of the street, and laid down. I don't remember anything until it was a little bit into the paramedic ambulance. And apparently I was coherent the whole time. But I heard the dude go, man, he fucked that truck up. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what happened, you know? They're like, you were really out of it? I was like, I don't remember a damn thing. And, you know, the damage was bad. But I walked out the next day with only a spider leg fracture, hella road burn, and a break in my arm. I shit you not, the next day, something happened to a dude. Similar situation. He died on the spot.
On the spot?
On the spot. And that was the next day. And I got out of that hospital that day, too. So it was like, you know, I see all these events happen to me, and it's like, man, this could have been me. I'm grateful that I'm alive, but man, it really gets you thinking. So Tales of a Dead Man comes from that. It's an undying man that has these stories to tell about life and the world and the tragedies and the happiness and the losses and the frustration and the empowerment that I have as an entity, as a person, as somebody that could myself ascend to a godly like position.
Yeah, absolutely.
At the end of the day, all of these tales are being given to you. So, like, let's say I was to die tomorrow,
Please
you'd listen back and you'd hear all this and you'd be like, man, he's been through a lot, but I can relate to this. I can touch to this. I feel stronger than I was yesterday.
Absolutely. That growth.
Exactly.
So when you dropped volume 2, The Resurrection, what was your headspace like? Was it closure or rebirth?
So first came the Gemini album. And Gemini album, I was in a whole happy, passionate, like good time state. It was party time state. Then we got volume 1 of Tales of a Dead Man. The first one was The Crucifixion. Volume 1 was Crucifixion. And what I was going through was, I had a bad falling out with the people I was associated with volume 1 because they were doing drugs and just doing all the wrong stuff and taking advantage of people, and just seeing how sick and convoluted my own community was getting, because that was around COVID time. Everybody was just being messy and reckless, and it brought me to this state of, feeling what it would be like to be crucified for standing up for your own beliefs. And that was volume 1. Volume 2 was the resurrection. It was the comeback. It was that year of death to come back into rebirth and experience whole different types of passion, loss, anger, happiness. And then now we're on volume 3. And volume
Dropping
3
October 25th.
dropping October 25th on all platforms.
Yeah.
Volume 3 is the rapture. And it seems biblical because it kind of,
It's
but
not biblical.
it's biblical in my own sense. Like, I went through the crucifixion, I went through the resurrection. Now we're witnessing the rapture. Look at everything around us. And I had this planned out years before, but look what's going on around us. All the chaos, all the mayhem, all the war. We might end up breaking in a civil war, knock on wood. Hopefully we don't. We're in a whole government shutdown. Everything's chaos. We even have aliens supposed to be fucking coming in November.
The mothership,
Apparently.
baby.
Yeah, 31A or some shit like that.
Don't even know Alex.
But that's what the rapture is about, is, going through the torment and the hell to get to retribution. And, one of the songs on there, it's called Armageddon. We just actually finished tonight with the final footage. That should be out by October 31st, Halloween Day. And it's basically about, seeing everything go off around you, like bombs dropping from the sky, all this chaos, and just saying, fuck it. And sitting on your roof, waving to the world goodbye as everything's in chaos.
Over.
Yeah.
It's the first time that came to mind when you said all that.
Yeah. Mine's, when I thought of it at first, it reminded me of It's the End of the World, that song. But it's got that kind of 80s vibe to it at the same time. So it's kind of an interesting spell. On this album, I actually did my first nu metal track as well.
Do you think, well, I know people say life ended back in 2020. Do you believe that that's a possibility, or is that the similar thing about the...
I think it would go to the multi-dimensional situation where, like, a universe possibly did collapse. We do live in a multi-dimensional state, so there are endless possibilities. And I personally have believed in multi-dimensional theory for a long time, before AI made it more possible to be true.
Right.
Like, and that's why I tell people, everybody's got the potential to be anything they want to be. But what are you going to do to do it? What are you going to...
Right.
What are you going to gain from what you're doing right now? Is it positive? Is it negative? Think about your choices. Weigh on those choices. Set a 5-year plan. Be successful.
You said it right there. Create the plan.
Make the plan. You are the plan.
So is there a message hidden in this trilogy that fans might have missed until now?
Honestly, it'd probably be the biblical phase of it is like taking the crucifixion, the resurrection, and the rapture into mind. This is all a spiritual transformation of the soul. This is me transforming and blossoming into a stronger, more magnificent butterfly than I was before. I would like to say personally, every single album that I've done leading up to this one has gotten nothing but better and better every single time. And I'm so happy that, you know, my career has come so far. I couldn't be any more grateful for every single endeavor and every single opportunity that I do get.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of opportunities, you started Villain Gang Apparel back in 2021.
2017.
2017?
Yeah.
How did that brand grow out of your music and your identity?
So 2017, I was looking for something to do. I was in Florida, wanted to make clothes. So
Simple as that.
I took our old thing, which was Villain Gang, made it into Villain Gang Apparel. Most of my designs are more Mickey Mouse or animated, along with my logo and whatnot. But that's because I have a passion for. Yeah, I love fucking Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse is amazing. I actually have Mickey Mouse gloves right here too.
The heck? Mickey Mouse? He lost his arms trying to hang on.
So, you know, I tried to make the clothing very interesting, very exotic, but it's more like horror and decrepit, like the darker side. I think right now I'm up to, I would say, 10 to 14 different designs on the site right now.
What's the site?
If you go to my bio, either on Facebook or Instagram, it's a Villain Gang Apparel shop. I also do print and sell personal merch as well.
Dang, watch out now. We could put in an order right now for something custom.
Absolutely. And hell, even if you wanted your own custom shit, I also have a printing business that I established 3 years ago called Illuminated Designs.
Say what? Say what? Like screen pressing?
Direct to film right now. I want to go direct to garment next year.
Oh, cool. Well, look at you building over there.
You gotta keep your mind going. You gotta keep on like progressing, and that's one thing I like to do. I don't like to sit around. I don't like feeling like there's something that I could do, but I'm not doing it.
That's right. That's right. Get out there and do it. Only you can stop.
You can make a better tomorrow.
Need custom merch that makes your brand stand out? Smoke and Barrel Apparel has you covered. From screen printing and embroidery to promo gear for your next event, we bring your vision to life. Trusted by artists, businesses, and creators across the underground nation. Visit smokeandba.com today and gear up with style. Smoke and Barrel Apparel, wear your brand, live your grind. Proud sponsor of the Underground Nation podcast.
What does being a villain mean to you then? Rebellion, survival, enlightenment?
Let's put it this way.
Okay.
Villains are people that are hated for their point of views. And if you think about it logically, deep down, you or me, we're a villain in somebody's story. Even if we were right for what we did or wrong for what we did. Villains are those that get shit done without limited restrictions, limited restraints. They're striving for themselves and the ultimate goal that they have. So, you know, if you think about it, like for me, I'm somebody's villain somewhere. I'm okay with that. That's not a problem to me. I have people that like me. I don't need you to like me.
As you're explaining villain, I'm noticing villain is tattooed on your face.
Yes, it is. I actually got this one and this one done in the same session. I got these done about 3-4 years ago. It was after the Gemini album, almost done with the Tales of a Dead Man Volume 1. And while I was in the camp that I was in, at the time I was in Briefcase Music before it fell apart because the manager just wasn't doing his shit after a while. He was
managers.
Yeah. So his girl at the time, she was like, "Hey, you want a tattoo?" I was like, fuck yeah, why not? And I was like, I'm down for a tattoo. She's like, I'll pay for it. I was like, all right, cool. Bring him over. Yeah, dude's professional. So at first I was like, go ahead and start with this one. Knock it out right there. He's going. Didn't even fucking hurt. Kid you not, did not hurt. I don't know if he had a light hand, but it came out fantastic. And I was like, you got time for another one? And he's like, what do you want? I was like, blast some Mickey Mouse hands right there. Didn't know they were going to come out as big. They came out great in quality. So, I can't really complain.
Yeah, not at all.
But
shout out to that tattoo artist.
Absolutely.
He's in the groove.
Yeah, he was a real trooper, and he's out here in Arizona. I forgot his handle, but he's on my Instagram.
All right, very cool. So how does fashion serve as another layer of storytelling for you?
I feel like my fashion sense, it's that alternative goth rock punk look. It's strange for sure for a hip hop artist, let alone just as a hip hop artist to have the style that I do, because I look more like I should be in a rock band, and I do love rock music. That was when my music journey started, was through rock music, was in a rock band in high school, so on and so forth. But the look always stuck.
Would you ever want to do a project with a full band?
Oh, absolutely. And I've been looking into it for this next project right now, because I've been kind of doing a shift to wanting to do like an LP, a new metal rock LP, and kind of have a like Slipknot / Linkin Park kind of vibe to it. I feel like that would be a very great go-to venture next. Haven't found the band yet, but I have done some shows with Unconventional Kings and a few other people, and it's an inspiration every time to see a drummer or a guitarist or everything like that just killing it on stage with them. It's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we mentioned a warning before jumping into our conversation. Live third eye wide, not third eye blind. That's a heavy freaking statement. Break that down for the people tuning in tonight.
So when I started my music shift, was still doing a lot of psychedelics, and I came up with this saying: live third eye wide, not third eye blind. And what it means is, like what we were talking about earlier, there's a lot of shit that we can perceive and percept in front of us that we don't quite see. And through ignorance and social influxes or role model or personal gain, we close our eye to this materialistic world instead of keeping it open to the spiritual, the supernatural, and what's in front of us, along with the unknown. Because there's so much going on in the world right now that we don't even see that's going on, and it could be for the best or it could be for the worst. And we get so confused and distracted on these issues that get jumped to be more than it really is, to distract us from what's really going on.
And distractions.
Yeah, and the biggest distraction we have is current role models. Like, a lot of people idolize and role model people, along with social media being a problem more frequently nowadays compared to when we were kids.
Agreed.
Like, it's insane. Like, I'm gonna take shots. Like, personally, I don't like Cardi B and Nicki Minaj music because it's just hoe music to me. It's nasty. Like, I don't want to hear about macaroni in a pot, dog. Like, I'm trying to I don't need none of that. Like, I don't need the visuals either. Like, you need to stop. Make something meaningful, because these little girls, especially these little girls, are looking up to you guys and going, oh, what's a wet ass? Like, that's
save the children.
Save the fucking children. And the children are the
don't let them be.
Sure, yeah. Don't listen to Cardi B. Don't listen to Nicki Minaj. Go listen to Snow the Product, for God's sakes. I love Snow the Product. She is a phenomenal artist. Or Whitney Payton. Whitney Payton is actually out of Arizona. I've been with Whitney Payton a few times. We hung out. She's good people.
I'm a Razakel fan, if that matters.
Oh,
Razakel.
yeah.
Cal over Cardi B. Whoop, whoop.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. There's so many, and the reason why these people are more favored is because we live in a day and age of satisfaction. A lot of people are looking for satisfaction versus just being content.
Yeah. Absolutely. I did an interview with a couple really awesome female artists like Grable. Look her up. She's definitely amazing. Has an incredible voice. Jade the Nightmare.
I think I've heard that one.
You probably have. She's a dark gothic hip hop.
Yeah. I've seen her. Yeah, she's on my Facebook. She's got a crazy sound, but I love it.
Look up Tori V, they said.
Tori V? Okay. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I love females' vocals on verses and choruses. I don't know what it is, but it adds a flair to it.
It adds a flair. Or it could ruin the song if it ain't the right vibe.
Ah, well, yeah. It depends on the mesh.
Well, Muzz, how do you define success? Spiritually, artistically, and personally?
So, success, I feel like success is built through knowledge. I feel like success is built through manifestation and strength and the right choices as well. Success can be whatever you want it to be. And sometimes some people's success is just surviving, living, just being here. And that's okay if that's something that works for you. But in the end, you should always consider and think, and it sounds like satisfaction, but is this really good enough for me? Like, is me making minimum wage and barely getting by enough? Or could you be comfortable? Like, I'm not telling everybody to go out, get fucking rich, buy fucking Lambos and shit like that. Get to a comfortable place in your life. Like, that's success to me. Success to me is like a 4 or 5 bedroom house for my kids, for me, a backyard for my dogs, and I can go to the store and buy a fucking Starbucks or some shit like that and not have to worry about, oh no, am I going to be able to pay my electric? Am I going to be able to pay this? Stressing about your bills is not success. That's just stressing. That's you struggling. And what that leads to is people end up going for quick ways to get shit done.
That means cutting corners.
Cutting corners.
Soft, goofy in the house, better take your head off. I don't fuck, nah, I yuck all day. Got the bounce in my step, goof, swagger on display. Yucking like a pro with my laugh on loop. Cartoon flex, yeah, I got the whole troop from the tip of my ears and my floppy feet. I'm the king of the yuck, and nobody compete. Yuck in the streets, yuck in the skies. Goof got the style that'll open your eyes. Max better know his dad's no fluke. This yuck is the truth, it's ultimate groove. My boy, let me lay it down. Dad's got the crown in this animated town. You might think I'm silly, but don't be mistaken. This yuckin' legacy is mine for the taking. Remember, son, it's all about joy. Laughter's a weapon, no need to destroy. Pass it down, Max E, keep the huck alive. Together we yuck and we thrive. Yuck in the streets, yuck in the skies. Who's got the style that'll open your eyes? Max better know his dad's no fluke. This yuck is the truth, it's ultimate groove. Streets, yuck in the skies. Goofy got the style that'll open your eyes. Max better know his dad's no fluke. This yuck is the truth. It's all.
And I hate to be that guy, but like personally, like if I was to date somebody, like I don't fuck with OnlyFans girls. Like that shit's
about as making you in.
Yeah, well, yeah, because like what it is basically and. Hate it or not, it's online prostitution. And on top of that, if I'm gonna get in a relationship with you and you're selling yourself like a Big Mac,
like a Big Mac,
and the whole world has seen
that's one hell of a Whopper.
Exactly. Everybody's seen that Whopper. Everybody's seen that fucking big griddle, between your legs and shit like that. I'm not interested in that. Like, I would like a woman that, like, has values, wants to do shit, do something successful with herself and doesn't go through the length of seeking attention. you know.
I get it. But can also be viewed as an art form.
It can.
Or also would it be naked models that stand there and you paint them?
Absolutely, but most of that is made for a reasonable profit. If you think about it, some of these things are quick go-to methods, and they're only meant to be quick go-to methods because there was a study done about OnlyFans models, and statistics came out that only 80% of these models are making $186 a month.
What? You say
80% are making $186 a month, and that's it, and that's all.
that's not that much at all.
It's not. And if you think about it, what it is these females, and this is what I'm talking about, cutting corners. They're posting that, and I'm only using the female aspect right now because we're on the topic. Guys do it. It doesn't make guys any better. They need to stop too. Like, go get a job, you know, go back to college, do something, start a business. But anywho, you know, they go on there, they post this stuff, they, you know, go through all these links, and then they send it to their dude friends on their page. Now, us being dudes, and I've probably done it once or twice after, like in the beginning of OnlyFans, and I was like, this is a waste of time. This is stupid. So, like, you know, there would be that hot girl that was like, oh, you know, check out my OnlyFans. And like, no, I've always wondered what you looked like. You know, you pay that $6 for the month. You know, you fan through all of her pictures and stuff like that, and then you're like, "Well, I've seen it all. Unsubscribe, same day."
Oh, the same day.
I'm saying, like, it's what are you gonna give me in a month that I can't go out and get myself? I could go to a strip club and do the same fucking thing and not get pleased at the end of it. So either which way, you know, I'd rather go out and pay for a dinner and get some pussy compared to go to a strip club or pay for an OnlyFans where I'm going to be beating my meat on the fucking...
Hey, there you
That's
have it.
what I'm talking about with cutting corners. Like, y'all got to stop cutting corners. I know it's rough out here. I know it's tough. You know, every day is a struggle. I'm a full-time single father myself. Like, it's not easy.
Hit up the chicken strip.
Yeah, it's not easy. And it's only going to get harder. But you also got to remember, if you're cutting all these corners instead of just doing everything the right way, your children, and this is going to loop back to the children, your children follow the parental blueprint that you laid down. So if you make all of this acceptable and teach your kid, you don't need an education, you don't need this, you don't need that, they're going to be bad or worse than you. Personally, and I tell my son this every fucking day, I want you to do great in school. I'll give him incentives per quarter if he makes good grades. Like, he did great grades, and now he's going to get, like, part of his hair auburn down with, like, a purple or something like that. Like, I set him up for success. Go, like, listen, you get this if you get this. It's an earning system. I tell my son every day, I want you to do better than I did. When I was your age, I was up to no good whatsoever. And I could have gone to college. I could have done this. I could have done that. And you could do all of that. You just got to stick to it. Don't bullshit. Don't cut around corners. I want you to make more money than me. I want you cleaning up my shit when I get old, not hospice or nothing like that.
Yeah, totally get that. So then you mentioned being a single father. Are you supporting your family off of music right now and your fashion clothing?
So it's 50-50. I do make views, but as we know, Spotify isn't that great, or Apple isn't great. And all of these platforms aren't great with payouts. Honestly, the only the best top paying streaming service, and it's gonna sound weird, but I've done the research. Uh-oh. It's Napster.
What?
Napster is still existent. Napster pays the most. Artist, let's get Napster back out. I don't know how it works. I don't understand it, but I think it's a streaming service now. But anywho.
Wow, blast from the past.
Yeah, so I make money off of touring. I make money off, and from those tours, I take my merch to state to state. This time when I went to Colorado, I didn't have any because I just ran fresh out. But merchandise, every show, you have the potential to make $250, even $200 to $500 if you really sell your shit and you have shit that's valuable, that sells. Like, they're also gonna hear you on stage and go, I want to fucking support this. Like, even though, like I said, I didn't bring merchandise over to Colorado with me this last month, but with my online site being active, dude was like, you didn't bring merch this time? I really liked your shit. And I was like, no, I didn't. I'm sorry. But I do have an online site. Let me help you out with that. Dude bought 2 hoodies, and my hoodies run $50 That's money in my pocket already. Phenomenal. Love it. Merchandise is going to be a big seller for a lot of people in the industry, along with touring, because with touring, you're going to have to invest into it, but there's always money to be made.
This episode of the Underground Nation podcast is powered by our sponsor, Flawless Cleaning Professionals, Denver's trusted team for homes, businesses, and construction sites. From spotless shine to deep clean perfection, they keep Colorado looking its best, one room at a time. Need a fresh start? Get your free quote today and experience what flawless really means. Visit Flawless Cleaning Professionals, where cleanliness meets confidence. Right here in Denver, Colorado.
So with the t-shirt printing and the merchandise and the music, I make about 40% to 50% of what I annually make. I also have a full-time job. I work at that, and I do acting gigs as well. So
What?
yeah, so currently in Arizona, we have this place called Rawhide, and it's a western town. Like they call it a haunted western town. During the season we're in right now is the Halloween season. So they're doing a zombie apocalypse laser tag kind of thing, where the actors dress up as zombies, hide around and whatnot, get paid for it. And these people, it takes 15 to 30 minutes to get through this thing. And people carry, like, they're real shotguns, but they're fitted and equipped with laser tag technology and shit like that. So they go around, shooting all the zombies. We scare the shit out of them, have a good time, get paid for it.
Yeah, heck yeah, I'm with that.
Oh yeah. So, I try to dance around every aspect and every corner of everything I do, because no matter what, like, if you want to be successful at music, yes, you can be successful, but it does take time. You don't just hop up and come big shot at 1 year. There's some people that do 1 in a million, 1 in a billion. That
1 in a billion?
1 in a million, 1 in a billion, that, like, in your first year you're gonna pop off like that, where you're hitting charts and you're sitting right next to fucking Justin Bieber or some shit like that. Like, it's 1 in a million, but it don't get discouraged. You make quality music, you have quality product, you promote yourself, and that's another thing. Promotion. Promote yourself. Get Google ads. Get whatever distributor you have use their ad system. And what that does is it puts you in a place where you can get into a playlist or something like that has legit people listening to you, because you can't even do bots anymore, and people were doing that shit. They were running up bots like crazy, to the point where Spotify came out with this rule where they're like, if we catch you guys botting it out over here, we're gonna remove your songs from our streaming services. You can't be doing that, because it was just too vibrant.
Absolutely. Don't be stupid bots.
Yeah, that's another thing. Taking that shortcut isn't gonna get you nowhere.
Exactly. Nowhere.
Just a fake paycheck. I mean, it's money, but it's a fake.
We'll still take it.
Absolutely.
Well, what kind of legacy do you want Villain Gang and the Muzz to leave behind?
The legacy I want to leave behind is that anything is possible if you put your mind to it. We all have our demons. We all have our quirks. We all have our doubts and ups and downs. But to leave the biggest thing I learned in life, and this took me years as well. When I was a youngster myself, I had an old school, and one of the first things that he taught me is leave a legacy, not a name. So for a long time, I lived by that. You know, I'm a legacy. I'm the Muzz. My name's a legacy. You know, hootie. Years down the road, you know, I was talking to him about that. I was like, you know, I've always used that. You know, it was always a mentality. And he's like, all right, well, now that you're old enough, I want you to switch this up. He said, if you want to leave a legacy, you have to leave a name too. So what is your name to the legacy? And for me, my legacy is to help everybody get through their struggles, their loss, and focus on gains through the frustration and the anger, and, you know, show them that anything is possible. I mean, it's the same shit that I'm teaching my son. Anything is possible if you can strive for it, if you can reach for it, if you can grab it. We all have the potential to be a god of our own timeline.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very well said, man. You can literally see the passion in your face as you speak on it.
I appreciate it. Life is passionate. Life is precious. Life is short. I can't even say that I'm gonna be here, you know, long. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen. You know, live life
here
to
one
the
day and
fullest,
gone the next. I get it.
Exactly. Live life to the fullest, but make it worth it. Make it worth it.
Please make it worth it. Well, Muzz, any shout outs, thank yous, or anything we forgot to promote, please take this time to shine.
Yes. So if you guys are looking for my information, you can find me on Instagram at TH3 MUZZ, or on all platforms at TH3 MUZZ. The extra Z for Instagram is because, I don't know, they didn't accept it. I don't know who tried to take it. And then Facebook, Damian Muzzy. I want to give a special shout out to my producers for this last album. We have Salt Mine Studios, my personal studio, NM92 videographers, Cheddar the Truth videographer, the homie Big Rich videographer, and all my fans and all you villains out there that keep on listening and supporting. I appreciate it. Helps me a lot. And if it wasn't for you guys, I would just stop as it is.
There it is, man. Powerful words right there. That's what I'm talking about. Huge shout out to our guest tonight, the Muzz, representing Phoenix, Arizona, and the Villain Gang, climbing through the dark and into the divine. So make sure y'all go like, follow, and subscribe to the Muzz on all social streaming platforms, and tap into his world through Villain Gang apparel. Don't forget, Tales of a Dead Man Volume 3 drops October 25th this year, 2025. So mark that date and prepare for the rapture. The rapture. And as always, stay tuned right here to underground-nation.com for everything making noise underneath the streets. I'm your host with the ghost of Bounce Ball Boogie, signing off with the words of the villain himself. Lift third eye wide, not third eye blind. Stay wicked, stay wise. Peace. Thank you, the Muzz.
Absolutely, I appreciate it, man.
That was another killer episode of the Underground Nation podcast with your host, with the ghost, Bounce Ball Boogie. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to our guests on all social and streaming platforms, and show your support for the Underground at underground-nation.com, where real music lives, loud and proud. Until next time, keep it raw, keep it heavy, and keep it underground.